In raining fuel news submitted by Camel's Hump, the FAA's reported that Delta Jet dumped fuel over LA without warning during an emergency landing.
I heard about this shit.
And I heard what it landed on, too.
Crazy.
Really?
And I laughed.
It's fucking crazy.
I want to know everything about that.
I heard it landed on a bunch of school kids.
Yeah.
Oh, the fuel, yeah. I thought you meant the plane. I was like, what did it land on?
No.
fuel.
On the runway.
Oh, just did a dump and it just was like...
Dusted it all over a fucking like elementary school. I
In
think.
all the
Cudahy.
things.
In Cudahy.
And what?
Cudahy, the city of Cudahy.
Oh, it's just right there.
Yeah,
It's right next to Southgate and Bell.
exactly.
Can you
That's
imagine
where they
jumping rope?
decided to dump it where all the Mexicans are.
Well, I mean, if you're already brown, you don't really see it that much. I see why.
Hey, I'm not brown.
I wasn't talking about. That's about the Cudahy Mexican kids.
What color is jet fuel?
I think brown.
Okay.
Like a very Latin brown, I think.
I see.
Very Latin, bro.
You know, very caramelly.
Yeah.
Okay, so there were 5 elementary schools and 1 high school.
God damn, did they just specifically target elementary?
I know, that's what
I laughed at the headline, not at the reality.
Yeah.
Because it was like,
No, you laughed at the reality. You're so happy that minorities are suffering.
There it is.
that's good. That's good shit.
How do you spill fuel in a circle shape, and it comes down and hits only those schools?
I think it's like a dusting.
Square shape.
It's like crop dusters.
Yeah, that's what I imagine. I imagine it coming like that, like they just had to dump
like
it.
Agent Orange.
Was it like to dump it so when they landed, just in case it wouldn't explode because they were going to land hard?
Maybe like a weight issue or
question.
something.
Exactly. So they're saying that it was a safety issue as to why they needed to dump fuel. But see, there's a lot of fishy shit going on because they're saying... Okay, so here's the thing. The pilot said to air traffic control, they said...
It's a prank, bro.
It's a
Full stop, 100%. It's a prank, bro.
It's full stop.
It's a prank, bro.
It's a prank.
Over.
Over. Oh, okay. It's a prank, bro.
Roger that. Prank received, man.
Stupid. No, so the pilot said, we've got it back under control. We're going to come back to LAX. We're not critical. We're going to slow to 280 knots and why don't you point us downwind at 8,000 feet and we'll turn back to LA. And then the tower said, okay, so you don't need to hold or dump fuel or anything? And the pilot said, negative.
Roger that, dumping fuel.
Pilot said negative. Yeah, so then the FAA said that the air traffic controller, he should not have used the word don't when he asked.
Oh.
Because
it's too conversational. You have to use like specific terms.
Right, so his sentence was, okay, so you don't need to hold or dump fuel or anything like that. So that exact sentence.
Should have been broken English.
What are they supposed to say?
Do not.
I mean, that's why like on like over radios you go like negative or affirmative. You're not supposed to say no, yes. It's too like.
You're supposed to say how you feel, I think. You're supposed to be like, yo, I'm pretty scared right now.
That would be over. Be like, I'm fucking terrified right now.
Over.
And you're supposed to reply like, oh, so.
So. I don't know. How do you feel?
What they're saying is,
It's just a noise. I don't know. Yeah.
so what they're saying is that the situation is a failure to communicate, and that the air traffic controller should have asked the question about holding or dumping fuel without using the word don't, and he should have repeated the questions.
I mean, that's pretty nitpicky, dang.
So here's what happened. So the fact that the plane was lower than 8,000 feet, that's the reason why the fuel was dumped onto people, because if they were higher, it would have atomized.
Atomized?
Oh.
Yeah. So it would
I
have
know
just
what the word is. Don't know what it means.
Like it vaporized pretty much. Like goes
yeah, like
into
vaporizing.
Tiny.
They couldn't just go to the ocean.
It goes in order.
Are you supposed to spray it into the ocean? Or no?
Yeah. So they're saying that there are
the
procedures. Yeah, that there are procedures if something like this happens, that the air traffic control will designate a specific area where they could dump fuel.
Like Lancaster, no one cares about that shit.
Yo, real talk though.
I like even just on the way to Lancaster, like literally just getting off of the 5, you be like, just right here, this little stretch right
So
here.
this is the flight path. So they're saying that as soon as they took off, there was something wrong. So then they had to turn back around, but and then the fact that the pilot specified that it's not critical,
Yeah.
he should have known that he had to dump fuel before landing because it's not safe to dump or to land when the plane is so heavy because they were heading to Shanghai. So that was a lot of
Holy
fuel.
shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fuel to dump on kids.
If it had been like a Vegas trip of fuel, we could have dumped it on the kids.
Yeah, you can dump it, they probably dust
Picture of these kids. Are they fucking soaked?
Like, listen, like if somebody dumps a bottle of water in your head, you just like, oh, this cold,
No,
right?
so you know what's crazy?
Like that much fuel, like will break your neck. You're like, your chin just impales through your chest.
No, so these kids were saying that they were like, oh, I thought it was raining.
Oh no, they opened their mouth?
No.
Not in LA, not in LA.
Yeah, not in LA.
Yeah, gross. No, so one kid said, like, yeah, my friend was saying that he thought it was raining, but then I didn't see any clouds. And then I started feeling like it being wet. And then I could smell it, that it smelled like gasoline.
Oh, poor babies.
I know.
What if it burned?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what if one kid just like started lighting a cigarette?
There was some shit.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it would
In the
have blew
high
up
school?
5 elementary schools and 1 high school.
Oh, fuck. No, and then they're saying that one of the little kids got some in his eye. Yeah. But so there were about 60 people that got affected with this.
Jesus.
But none of them were hospitalized, so that's good.
Thank God.
Wait,
Yeah.
should they have been hospitalized? I feel like you.
They should at least get checked.
No, they did get like like fully fuck, was it decontaminated? They got decontaminated.
They just sent him to the nurse. And they were just like, nah, you're fine.
Delta sent over some t-shirts.
Yeah. Fuck out of
You
here.
get your wings.
Yeah, you gonna fly to friendly skies?
Damn. Yeah. So they ended up having, I believe, 6 cleanup crews. Oh wait, was it? Shit, I forgot.
One per school. Yeah.
Cleanup crew. Well, it's not in this article.
Just like Lysol wipes, Pine-Sol.
Yeah, what do they do? Those poor guys out in fields, fucking wiping grass down with rakes and shit.
Poke a hole in a bottle of water and just,
Yeah, that's all you can do.
that's it. Dilute
Yeah.
it.
So they're saying that this plane, which was carrying 149 passengers and 15 crew members, landed safely. It's just unfortunate that they had to dump the fucking.
So the air traffic controller fucked up by saying don't.
It's not just that, but then they're also saying that
The wrong language?
like based off of where they dumped the fuel, it was very apparent that the flight crew realized last minute, oh shit, we need to dump fuel before we land, because they were about to land in the airport, and I guess they didn't, for whatever reason, they didn't want to circle back around to the airport again to like dump
Because
fuel.
the flight path looks
Oh,
like they
you're
passed
shitting
over the
me.
ocean for a little
Yeah.
bit.
Yeah.
So they're just doing it to save time?
I think so. I don't know. I don't know exactly what the circumstances are, but they are investigating it, and they have found.
I see. Actually, yeah.
They have found that they did not ask for permission to dump, which is, it's not a regulation or anything, but usually they would be asking, hey, where can we dump
Yeah, especially
fucking
if I
fuel?
know I'm flying over fucking LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. 8 million people down there.
Did they say like what emergency they had?
They didn't specify. They were just saying that they just needed to come back.
Emergency.
Like, it
We have
was-
too much fuel.
Yeah. There was just some sort of issue that required them to turn back. I don't really.
My little brother's an air traffic controller. So I will be asking him about this. I find it very interesting that
Don't.
saying a certain thing is, yeah.
It's the phrasing of it is like,
whoa, that's frowned upon.
Yeah.
Maybe it was because of the way the sentence was constructed. So it's like,
Yeah.
so you don't need to dump or hold anything, right?
Yeah. That's
Versus
exactly.
like, so you don't need to dump or hold anything, just land, right? Like depending on the tone and the inflection, it could be 2 different sentences. So
Yeah, and then the pilot responded with negative. So he's like, I don't know what you're asking me, but negative. Like,
that fool said,
he said, he literally wrote UH negative.
Wait, why is he a cunt about it if he did dump fuel? He's like, yeah, I think I took care of it back there.
Negative, not anymore.
Yeah. No, we are clear as a bird up here.
I don't know about down there, but up here we're good.
Yeah. So the only thing I really know is that they're experiencing engine trouble, but they had cleared it up and it was not critical. So they just, a lot of people are like, then why do what you did? Like
that
because
part's
they
scary. I'm so
understood.
glad I've never been in like an emergency on the flight. If they were to announce it on the airplane, I'm like, fuck, that's
Oh
scary.
man, I'm already scared enough on the plane, dude.
I haven't been in an emergency, but I've been on some rough landings.
Yeah, those are
Like
scary.
even like what was I just
rough
came
turbulence?
back. Yeah.
rough turbulence.
Scary.
Where was I coming from?
Was it Europe? Because I know that the Atlantic flights are pretty rough.
No, actually, you know what? It was Monday. I just came back from SAC. I was at SAC this past weekend, and the pilot landed so hard, the fucking language switch on the announcements.
Oh,
Damn.
Like that's how I felt like the hubcaps came off the plane. He landed so goddamn hard. I was just like, cause it was just like I'm used to like that. It was like I was like, fam, what are you doing? Like I was legit upset and wanted to talk to somebody.
Did it bounce? Like you could feel it go.
Yeah, you felt to do that, and I was like, why? Like this ain't like you say, it's not a long trip. It wasn't a huge plane, so it was like I don't know. Maybe he just came in too hot.
Are you trying to pop the tires on purpose?
That's what it felt like, man.
Maybe it was new.
I mean, anything's possible. I mean, one of these scenarios will work.
Yeah,
I
so
like none of them.
true. So the people reporting, and even the people in charge of the elementary schools, they were just saying like, listen, we're not judging. We don't know what the hell you had to go through in the air to make these decisions at all. And then other media outlets have said, like, yeah, in the past, it's been very, very dangerous to land a plane with a lot of weight, and it gets to the point where like it could fuck up the tires, and it could be catastrophic. So. Yeah.
All right.
He had a Tahir moment where he's like, fuck these kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. Please don't literally dump on these kids. Just socioeconomically dump on these kids. Don't you understand? Don't you understand?
Scar them for life, and not for the short term.
Yeah, but they're also talking about how there was this other flight. Where was it? Because I remember reading about it. But they were just talking about this other flight where there were a whole bunch of people in it, and everyone died.
Wow.
That's not where I thought that was going.
Oh shit.
Because they didn't dump the fuel?
I believe so. Fuck, I forgot. I'm saying this off the top of my head, and I can't find it in these articles. 'Cause I have 2 articles.
Well, did they live or die?
They died. They died in the story of this other plane, but I forgot the details.
So really, this article should just be rephrased as "Hero Pilot Saves Plane."
Yeah, I'm into that now. I'm into that.